This is News 10 Mornings.
Good morning to you. It is Monday. It's May 4th. Oh, really? I'm Keith Arnold.
Not buying it. Not buying it.
Not even sort of buying
Not
it.
a bit?
Nah.
Nothing?
I'm Dan Elliott. That's Rebecca Sunnybrook Farm. What's going on over here to Mr. Rob Carl Mark? How you doing this morning?
I'm good. It was a great weekend. How about you guys?
It was nice.
Fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
Yeah, way too
I'm
fast.
feeling energetic because I got to see Lakin. And she's just Rob's little one. She's just a ray of sunshine.
There
She
you
brightened
go.
everyone's weekend.
Yeah, we had the company picnic yesterday at the River Cats game. It was fun. It was a good time. But now it's Monday, so we're all back to work.
Yes,
and
we
yeah.
I'll tell you something. This is going to be a really quiet weather week, but it's also going to be just really pleasant, mild, enjoyable, and we've got chances for rain for everybody.
Really?
Like that.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'll break it on
Okay.
down. We are looking for some really nice conditions. The number one thing to know is that it's warm up high, it's warm down low, but it's not especially hot anywhere. As you can see, that's the current temperature at the base of Squaw Valley, 37. So it gives you an idea of what's happening in the Sierra, and also just a nice, beautiful sunset last night. Snow is melting as we expect this time of year. But one thing that you'll notice this morning is a nice thin layer of clouds that's just ripping across the sky. It's really awesome to look at, and you know, with the full moon that we've seen recently, it's just really lighting it up in just the perfect way. So it's a beautiful start to the day. The Delta breeze kicked in super strong yesterday, and it's still with us this morning. 23 miles an hour through Fairfield, then either 8 in Stockton, about 10 or so in Sacramento. So it's still giving us that nice Delta breeze effect for some areas close to the Delta. This is what's happening. We've got a nice area of low pressure that's pumping in the southwest winds. That's really kicking the Delta breeze up a notch, and we're going to see a nice mild day. Remember, this is the high temperature, 80 degrees. That means most of your day is spent in the 70s with some thin clouds out there and also some breezy to gusty winds at times. Not windy, but just a little bit of breeze out there. So it's going to be a nice day. We're going to see conditions like this all week, but by the time we start moving into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we've got thunderstorm chances and rain chances up high, maybe even a little bit of snow. And in the valley, we're looking at thunderstorms. So more on the rest of this week later on. For now, here's Melissa Crowley. By the way, May 4th, does that ring a bell to you? What does that mean to you?
May the Force be with you or for you or
Star
something.
Wars Day. May the 4th be with
Star Wars
you.
Day. That's why I'm wearing my Stormtrooper dress. Okay. All right, let's talk about traffic this morning. Hopefully traffic knows. Things are looking pretty good. Drive times overall, including 205 over the Tracy Triangle. Monday, we typically see the commute start to build after 5:30. So you have about an hour typically before things really heat up there. A few gusty conditions, but no wind travel advisory up according to CHP and Caltrans. Here's how it looks. Interstate 80 over the Yolo Causeway. It's Monday, so we thought you'd like some good news. How about a big interchange opening? Interstate 5 South. It's just south of Meadowview. News 10's Haley Gunther is going to be live all morning for us. Part of the Consumnes River Boulevard interchange is opening up. We'll be sharing throughout the morning what that might mean to you and hopefully how it could help. Right now, we showed you Interstate 80, the camera shot in the green speed index showing a good traffic flow. Not leaving out 50 or 80. So far, so good. 50 coming in from Folsom. Interstate 80 from Roseville, no major headaches. It's been a nice smooth ride, and right now that's reflected in drive times, including north towards the airport, south into town, and 599 from Elk Grove. Back to you.
Melissa, thank you. Happening today, the 2 surviving suspects in a Stockton bank robbery and shootout are due in court, and the San Joaquin County District Attorney is expected to announce if they will seek the death penalty. Jaime Ramos is the surviving suspect from the shootout. He allegedly used a hostage as a shield. Pablo Rubalcaba is accused of driving the car that dropped off the robbers at a North Stockton bank. Police say the other suspects then took 3 hostages, beginning an hour-long chase and ended with the shootout with police. 2 suspects and the hostage, Misty Holt Singh, were killed.
Students who attended any of the now closed Corinthian colleges can get some help today. This is going to come in handy as they try to decide what's up next. The California Attorney General's office and some other agencies are holding an online event this afternoon, at which time there'll be some answers for students. They'll get help determining where they might want to enroll next or how they best could handle their student loans. Also, if and where their credits are transferable. It's a live interactive event. It's from 1 to 2 this afternoon. To sign up, just visit oag.ca.gov/ Corinthian. And State Senator Kathleen Galgiani has announced that she's going to be hosting transfer workshops for Heald College students this week. They'll be Thursday in Stockton and Modesto. There'll be reps from some of the community colleges, Delta College, Modesto JC. They'll be answering questions about financial aid and transferring units. The session in Stockton is 4 to 6 Thursday at San Joaquin Delta College. The session in Modesto is 5 to 7. That will be at the Stanislaus County Library.
The top stories we are following for you this morning. The ceremony at the Capitol last night was a tribute to officers who have given the ultimate sacrifice this year. News 10's Ty Chandler has more on the memorial honoring officers killed in the line of duty.
2014 marked the end of watch for 13 officers across the state. Their names to be added to this Peace Officers Memorial here on Capitol Mall and 10th Street. Hundreds showed up Sunday night to honor them and pay their respects. But for some in our area, these ceremonies are hitting especially hard. The families of those fallen officers by blood and shield follow the bagpipers to the memorial to pay their respects to those they lost. Sacramento County Deputy Danny Oliver and Placer County Detective Michael Davis lost their lives in October when a gunman went on a 6-hour shooting spree. Blue pin lights illuminated in honor of those officers. Placer County, though, hasn't lost a deputy since 1979. It has been 4 years since Sac County Sheriff's Department experienced such a loss. All that making this ceremony that much more difficult for local departments.
This is the first year for me that it's struck this close.
It's a difficult day. It opens a wound, so to speak.
Right now, we're challenged. We face some tremendous crossroads, but we're going to move forward. I really believe we're going to move forward. An event like tonight should bring communities together, regardless, and I hope that's the end result.
Among the 13, Stockton police officer Scott Huell killed in a car accident last May. Now, the number of officers who died in the line of duty in 2014 is considered abnormally high, nearly double what it usually is, which is about 7 officers a year. There will be an enrollment ceremony later this morning, and that is when these officers' names will be permanently memorialized here. Ty Chandler, News 10.
And the officers' names, again, will be officially enrolled into the Peace Officer Memorial this morning. Governor Brown is expected to attend the Walk of Honor that's going to start at 10:30 from the Capitol's West Steps. The official ceremony begins around 11 a.m. at 10th Street and Capitol Mall.
Also, there's going to be a motorcade going to the Peace Officer Memorial. It will leave the CHP Academy at Reed Avenue in West Sacramento about 9 o'clock this morning. It'll go across the Tower Bridge over to the Capitol. So there will be some delays. This will be happening along Sacramento Avenue, Jefferson Boulevard, and West Capitol Avenue.
2 men have been arrested in connection to a house explosion in Nevada City that injured a woman and her infant child. Richard Kuhn and David Schwab were arrested after police say they were making honey oil inside the home. They face charges for manufacturing a controlled substance and also child endangerment. Fire crews were called out to this home Saturday after reports of a structure fire. The woman and her child were inside the home. They suffered burns. Investigators say they found items associated with manufacturing of butane honey oil. That's the liquid substance extracted from a marijuana plant. They say there is enough evidence to arrest a third person who may have been involved as well.
Sacramento firefighters were busy Sunday afternoon trying to control this. Flames at a landfill. It's just north of Florin Perkins Road and Fruit Ridge Road. The crews were focusing on containing the flames and not allowing it to spread to any additional piles. They're still trying to determine what caused that fire, but fortunately nobody was hurt.
Across America now, a controversial cartoon contest in Texas ended in deadly gunfire. A group called the American Freedom Defense Initiative was holding a contest for cartoons featuring the Muslim prophet Muhammad. As the event in the Dallas suburb of Garland was wrapping up, 2 men in a car arrived and, according to police, started shooting. A security guard was hit in the leg. Police returned fire, killing both suspects. Witnesses say it was a chaotic scene.
This is very scary. We heard boom, 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 and then all of a sudden we see the cops everywhere.
Police set off some precautionary detonations near the suspect's car. No word if there were actually explosives in that vehicle. The FBI at this point is trying to determine if the shooting is linked to Islamic radicalism. Drawings of the Prophet Muhammad are considered insulting to many followers of Islam and have sparked violence around the world. In Baltimore now, police say they have made nearly 500 arrests since large-scale protests broke out following the death of Freddie Gray. The total includes those arrested for breaking the citywide curfew that was just lifted yesterday. Protests, though, have been peaceful, at least in the past week. Gray died of a severe spinal injury that prosecutors say he suffered while riding in back of a police van. Criminal charges include manslaughter, murder. They were announced Friday against the 6 officers, you see them there, involved in Gray's arrest.
At 4:40, we're talking about the 2016 presidential campaign because the field is getting more crowded. Today, former Hewlett-Packard CEO Carly Fiorina is going to launch her bid. She'll be running as a Republican, and you might remember she ran in California for the U.S. Senate seat against Barbara Boxer back in 2010. Well, today Fiorina will launch her campaign on Good Morning America. Then there'll be a town hall meeting. Tomorrow she releases a new book called Rising to the Challenge: My Leadership Journey.
Also on the Republican side, Ben Carson will launch his presidential run today. The retired neurosurgeon will make his announcement from his hometown of Detroit. He will likely be the only African American to seek the 2016 GOP nomination. Mike Huckabee also expected to enter the presidential race tomorrow. The former Arkansas governor has run in the past, winning the Iowa caucuses. You remember that one? That was back in 2008, before losing the Republican nomination to Senator John McCain. Huckabee will announce his run in his hometown of Hope, Arkansas.
Now to the latest on the Nepal earthquake. And at the airport there in Kathmandu, they're dealing with major runway damage. And because of that, they've had to close down the airport to the large aircraft that have been delivering aid to the millions of people affected by the quake. That runway was built to handle medium-sized jetliners, not the large military planes that have been flying in supplies. Meantime, the death toll continues to climb, almost up to 7,300. More than 100 people are still missing from the quake, and that includes 9 Americans.
441 is your time. Taking a look at the traffic outlook.
Woohoo! Well, thank you, especially on a Monday. Let's talk about conditions on a Monday. A little bit better news typically. We don't really see a lot of slowing till about 7 a.m. into downtown Sacramento. Heats up at 8, but typically on Mondays, the busiest time around 8:30. Let's look ahead towards the afternoon if you're trying to get off work and get home. 3:30, not too bad. By 4:30, we see traffic start to build, especially eastbound 80 near Reed and eastbound Capital City Freeway headed back towards Roseville. But 5:30, you can see more red. That's generally the worst of the commute when it comes to being busy on the roadways as you're looking ahead. Hey, something else, look out for the roadways. You know what's going on? May is Bike Month. This is how CalSTARS is celebrating. They're trying to get their employees to each log thousands of miles. Let us know what you're doing. Share some pictures. Love to give it a shout out. Lots of kickoff events taking place this weekend, some in Natomas as well. Back to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Sun, a whole lot of sun and warm temperatures, but what we really need right now is that late season rain. We're still holding on hope, right?
I did hear Rob mention it.
Someone over there.
Yeah, somebody over there. You know, I've got rain in the brain. We've got Rob's forecast, though, for you. That's next right here on News 10 Mornings.
And
Rob,
it's Monday, too.
So sorry, pal.
It's Monday.
Yeah.
We try.
Some money headlines now. Starting today, American Express rolls out a new loyalty program. It's called Plenty with an I, and it allows you to earn reward points through the things that you buy. And you don't even have to be an American Express card holder if you want to join the program. It allows you to earn points at a variety of businesses, including Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Rite Aid, Macy's, and then those points can be used for discounts at some of the participating locations.
And some good news for the auto industry, particularly for Detroit's Big Three. New models and cheap loans brought even more customers to an already booming supply of cars for sale. Fiat Chrysler reported a 6% jump in sales last month. GM says it saw a 9% hike in sales, and Ford says sales are up 5%. Meanwhile, prices continue to climb, though, at the pump thanks to a spike in crude oil prices. We started the month of May with peak gas prices for the year. In Sacramento, the average price for a gallon of gas, $3.53, that same number in Stockton. And in Modesto, you are at $3.46 a gallon.
All right, let's talk about the drought as the efforts continue in Roseville to try to save water, and now they're putting in landscaping that requires a lot less water. Sunday, an army of volunteers at Bancara Park removed the real grass, replacing it with drought-tolerant plants. They pulled up about 20,000 square feet of turf at this park, and that's going to save Roseville about 1 million gallons of water a year. Programs like this make Roseville one of the more conservative-minded cities in California when it comes to water. The Roseville Parks and Rec Department says last year they saved 29% more water than in 2013. Makes a big difference when you do that.
Wow. It
Rob,
does make a difference, but it's not
we are just amazed that Rob is here today because, you know, being the surfer boy that he is, why you weren't in Santa Barbara or points down in SoCal, they're getting some unbelievable surf.
You know, we are going to get a lot of massive surf today along the coast of California, and this is kind of a weird thing. On Friday, I was talking about a really huge storm, not a hurricane, but just a huge classic storm in the southern hemisphere. Big waves for Chile. In Mexico yesterday, it was the biggest surf in 20 years. Take a look at this. This guy paddled into this, and just for some scale, this guy's about 5'10". His name is Mark Healy. His board is about 10 feet long. And again, this is the biggest surf they've seen in this area in 20 years at least, and they're calling this the biggest wave ever surfed at this spot. This is called Puerto Escondido. It's a beach break, which is unbelievable, but just crazy waves. That was Mexico yesterday, and it hits California today, but the angle is really important. It's a straight south, so it comes in from this direction. So some places are shaded, some places are really going to max out. Santa Cruz should be absolutely epic today. And of course, I'm here at work because I love my job and I want to keep it. Okay, anyway, as you can see here, the other thing that we look at, I like to dig this thing up every once in a while just so you can see if there's anything major, any atmospheric river, i.e. Pineapple Express, that's somewhere in the horizon. This would be a really, really late storm, but I don't see anything brewing out there. There's a few little puffs of moisture that are going to come through the area, so we're not completely rain-free, but I don't see anything major that would bring us several inches of rain over several days. What we're really noticing here is the Delta breeze effect has cooled down a lot of spots into the low 50s. We might even crack the upper 40s before the sun comes up. Still with us right now, a nice Delta breeze through Sacramento and Stockton, and you know, it really ramped up to a whole new level because of this. Nice area of low pressure off to the north of us, pumping in southwest winds, which kicks the Delta breeze effect, which you get pretty much every morning to some degree with onshore winds. It just kicked it up. It came in rather strong as the sun was going down yesterday, and it's going to be with us today. The only game in town today through most of the week is high elevation thunderstorms, but by the time we start moving into Thursday, Friday, we could see a few isolated thunderstorms right here in the valley. So while there's no major organized area of low pressure and then a cold front drifting through the area, as you can see by Thursday, there is enough moisture everywhere where we could be looking at some thunderstorms. So it's kind of a quiet week for the most part. Temperatures are going to hover in the upper 70s, low 80s, but thunderstorms are absolutely a possibility today and tomorrow for higher elevations. And then take a look at that snow level. By the time we start moving into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's enough cold air getting brought into the area that snow level is going to drop to about 6,000 feet or so. So if there is enough moisture early in the morning for higher elevations, we could be looking at snow in the morning, then thunderstorms in the afternoon. So kind of a wild mix of weather possible for the higher elevations throughout the rest of this week. For all valley spots, it's going to be somewhat mild and quiet. Breezy today, temperatures close to 80 degrees. We could be looking at a few isolated thunderstorms and maybe even a few showers connected to those thunderstorms on Thursday, on Friday as well. And then as you can see, we're looking at something else brewing by the very end of the 10-day window there. More clouds coming in the forecast, could be even looking at some rain, but overall it's a mild and quiet forecast for the most part. Melissa.
Not bad, Rob. We'll take it. Let's take a look at our Bay Area super commuters. Interstate 80 so far so good. Nice light traffic, so pays to get up early as you rise and shine. Get a jump start on your work week or your travels out and about. Let's talk about your travels over the super commute. If you're coming in from Tracy, 205 at Mountain House, it's busy, but no major delays due to accidents. Fingers crossed it will stay that way. Super commute on Highway 4 and Highway 12, no big delays to report right now. So we're seeing sunny and mostly green. Speeds when you see green generally above 50 miles per hour, and that includes, as we mentioned, all the way towards the bay. Follow me on Twitter at Melissa Crowley. If that changes, we'll let you know. Back towards the Sacramento region, 5, 99, 50, and 80. No major troubles. Again, some good news, though, with that interchange project. Maybe that will help folks get into downtown, which right now is problem-free, nice and smooth, and that includes Interstate 5 into downtown Stockton as well. Speaking of downtown and Interstate 5, though, if you're headed into Sacramento on 5, a major milestone could help you. It's complete, or partially so, in the Costumnes River Boulevard Extension Interchange project. So as of midnight, the new interchange at I-5 and Costumnes River Boulevard in South Sacramento, it's open. And this, by the way, is about a mile south of Meadowview Road. A new 4- to 6-lane road extension from Franklin Boulevard west to Freeport Boulevard, that is still under construction, not yet ready. Cars can still get off and emerge from the new interchange at Freeport Boulevard. Here's what you can't do quite yet. You will not be able to head east along the new extension. We'll be checking in with News 10's Haley Gunther throughout the show, and she'll be telling us what commuters have to say about this. And Dan, I know we were talking about this. It's welcome news. We'll have to see what happens when the whole thing is completely open as well, but at least a first start.
Yeah, once people can get onto the freeway on that on-ramp, you're going to wonder how much that'll impact the traffic coming into town on northbound I-5.
It will be a double-pronged thing that we'll be checking in on. Yep, back to you.
All right, thanks, Melissa. Well, we are talking better jobs here at News 10, and ahead of Mother's Day, we are celebrating moms, stay-at-home moms, working moms, no matter what the profession, because, you know, we recognize raising children is a job in and of itself.
Right, and according to a recent study on the moms pulling double duty, the balancing act between a career and taking care of family, that can certainly take its toll. It's a survey by Care.com. It found that more than 1 in 10 working moms call in sick or show up late at least once a week. And we want to help you feel a little bit less stressed. So all this week on News 10 Mornings, we'll bring you advice from News 10's own working moms and their secrets on juggling work and home life. We'll hear from Melissa. That's going to come up in our 5 o'clock hour. And later today on News 10 at 5, we'll have some resume advice for all the stay-at-home moms out there, the ones that are looking to re-enter or even get into the workforce for the first time, maybe.
All right. Well, 4:53 is the time now, and coming up on News 10 Mornings, if you enjoy working with people and being in the kitchen, we just might have a job for you.
Who's hiring after this?
Welcome back to News 10 Mornings.
Let's check in with News 10's Haley Gunther to see what she's working on for us for this morning. Hey, Haley, good morning.
Good morning, Dan and Kiba. Well, a new interchange opening up here on I-5. A lot of drivers in South Sacramento very relieved to see this progress. We'll let you know what's coming up next in our 5 o'clock hour. I'll send it back to you.
Haley, thanks. We've got the breeze out there, right? Hair blowing in the wind. Looking good. Today's Who's Hiring. Let's talk jobs now. Boston Market is looking to hire in positions, all positions. This is at their Roseville location. 5003 Foothills Boulevard. That's the address in Roseville. To apply, visit bostonmarketjobs.com.
Tomorrow is a very important day for hundreds of nonprofit agencies in Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto. It's the big day of giving, a 24-hour fundraising drive, and you pick the organization to which you'd like to donate. Last year, more than $3 million was raised in online donations in a single day for local nonprofits, and this year they're shooting for even more. They hope to raise $5 million.
It means so much to the nonprofits. Last year, what we saw, a lot of smaller nonprofits, they can make more in one day than they do all year.
It is a big day. It goes from midnight to midnight. More than 500 local nonprofits for you to choose from. Donations start at $25.
There you go. Big day of giving.
That's it. That's
Tomorrow.
it. Tuesday is the big day. Hey, before we wrap up the 4:30 hour, how warm is it going to get?
You know, today not so bad. It's going to be breezy all day long, right around 80 degrees. We're going to stay there all week long, and we still have rain chances to talk about.
Nice.
2 more hours. Come on back for News 10 Mornings right after this.